Coach, when you look at this Houston defense, everybody's always going to talk about Oliver, but it seems like several of these other guys really stick out in the front seven too.
Yeah, the two senior linebackers make a lot of plays, very active. Oliver, one of the hardest playing D linemen I've ever seen on tape. I mean, he's relentless, runs after everything, chases every play, which is awesome to see. But yeah, they're a talented defense all the way around.
For a kid that was as heralded as he is in that age, is it pretty rare to see a kid that has as big of a motor as he does for that talent of a kid out of high school?
Yeah, it's awesome to see, particularly after the freshman year he had, when you get revered on that level all off season, and to come back and play even harder than he did. That says a lot about his character and the people that have coached him, his parents, everybody that's been a part of his football career has done a great job because he plays the right way.
To you, what's the biggest thing that just jumps out about him on film whenever you watch him?
Yeah, that's it, just his relentlessness. I mean, he never stops chasing the football, never stops rushing, never stops going. Wherever that ball goes, he's going to show up in the screen, and that's a special trait.
Somebody he reminds you of?
No, I mean, not that comes to mind, but, he's a little bit undersized, but very powerful, very strong, and is in on a ton of plays because, he just has that will to get it done.
Seems like number 2 and number 8 are two outside linebackers. They move those guys around a lot and use them in a lot of different ways.
They do. They put them in different positions, bring them, drop them, do a bunch of different stuff. Very multiple defensively, and you got to be prepared for what they're going to show each and every week. You never know what you're going to get. So I think offensively, we got to be really sharp with our protections. We got to be great identifying, what they're trying to do each and every snap.
As far as Houston's offense goes, the thing that sticks out is the size of all their receivers, really.
Yeah, they have big receivers, which luckily for us, our guys get to go against them. Dylan and Derek in practice every day, and TJ, who are as big as anybody. And so hopefully that won't overwhelm them going against their big receivers. And last week we played against a big one at Arizona State. But they're a talented group. Quarterback had a tremendous game last week, very accurate, was the #1 player in the country coming out. So we'll have our hands full.
How did you feel like you got needed protection the other night against LSU?
Not bad. Thought, we gave some things up early, but that's a good defensive front. I mean, they got some big, athletic, tough guys that have played a lot of football, and I thought early they were pushing it back in our face, and as the game went on, I felt like we settled in a little bit.
What is the status of Ruffy, Hatfield, Dorsey, Desmond?
Really day to day on all of them. I wish I'd give you an answer, but we're going to see how the week goes for all of them, and we'll know when we head that way on Friday probably.
I know you referenced it on the conference call yesterday, but what does Houston mean to you, and maybe a lot of guys from the coaching staff as well?
Yeah, I always feel indebted to that university. It gave me an opportunity. My first job, quality control for 2 years, and then was allowed to kind of roll right into a play calling duty, which doesn't happen very often. So I had a tremendous time there. The people, the city, the university, can't say enough good things. And it'll be strange being on the other sideline, but always big fan of Houston, always cheer for them when we're not playing them. And so it'll be a fun experience.
I think it was were you still quality control and teching down there?
I was, yeah, I was.
You mentioned it being weird going down there and coaching there. What was that like, coaching against Tech?
Yeah, that was tough because obviously Mike was still at Tech, and it was Dana and I on the headset together, and Ruffin and all those guys on the other side, Lincoln. So it was, you don't want to cheer against those guys, but we're all competitors, and it was a heck of a game. And, but yeah, I don't really like those type games.
Were you surprised to see that your predecessor, Tommy Tuberville, was calling this game for you yesterday?
How did I know that was coming? Yeah, I mean, they're going to do what they need to do. So I just coach football.
You'll probably meet with them on Friday, right?
I don't know how that's going to work, Don. We'll see.
The play that Mike made the other night where he hustled back on the wash and
right.
the ball, I assume it was not drawn up for the defensive tackle.
It was. We give out an award every week called the Raider Award, which isn't necessarily the best play or best stats. It's more the heads-up play or something that contributed to us winning the game, and he got it because that wasn't his guy. It was just a feel thing. He felt the back going. If he doesn't wheel with them, they may have got that first down and kept the drive alive. So it was an incredible heads-up play, very aware for a big guy late in the game who's probably tired, been playing a bunch, to wheel with that guy and lay out and make a play like that was big time.
Back in Washington, you middle of the game with that play, I said Robert really had a big fourth quarter, correct? It was very visible in the fourth quarter. Is that kind of a test of their conditioning?
I think so. I mean, those guys were playing a lot of snaps, and they knew those two drives were for the game. If Arizona State scores on either one of those, they beat us, and they stepped up when they had to. I felt like we got in a little lull there. They had gained all the momentum, so to see those guys really take control and be leaders and had great energy on the sideline and play like they did at the end, that was very encouraging.
How did you and Coach Gibbs feel about rotation numbers-wise and how you rotated the D-line and DBs in that game?
Yeah, I think we did better up front numbers-wise. I think in the back end, with some of the injuries, it kind of got skewed. So we're going to work through that this week and see if we can even those numbers up. But, yeah, I felt like we had a better rotation going on up front.
Coach Pierce Shumick, I mean, playing lights out from your perspective. How's he played so far?
Yeah, he's gotten better, and that's all we're trying to do is get better every week. He knows he doesn't have to do it all. We have a tremendous receiving corps, tremendous running backs, but I've really liked the throwaways. I guess is the biggest takeaway when it's not there. He's done a nice job finding a way, throwing it out of bounds, limiting the sacks. Obviously, he's limited the turnovers, and we just gotta keep progressing each week. Which, with his work ethic, that's kind of what I expect to happen.
Talked a little bit about Kyle Allen a minute ago. Can you talk about him as well as Duke Catalan, a couple of transfers that they've been able to get there?
Yeah, I mean, Kyle was the top guy coming out in his class and had some success there at A&M, and very accurate passer, talented thrower of the football. Like I said, the ball, I don't think hit the ground last week. So he's playing well, and Catalan is a tremendous back, could play for anybody. So they got good offensive skill, they got a good scheme, and it'll be a big challenge for us.
These days, just in general, is there anybody on the play that doesn't have good skill anymore just because of how 7-7, how much guys that had skilled players play all around year round?
Yeah, you can really look at all levels and see very talented players. You're right. The development of those receivers and running backs and catching the ball all summer, all year round with those 7-on-7 leagues has really made it where every team you play is going to have somebody that can really hurt you.
The other night, you had Kiki and Philip go over 100, and they had Keel Harry over 100. Is that an example of guys putting in the best skill position players at receiver? I mean, Coach Gibbs has talked before about when they're defensive back. Well, yeah, kids don't want to play defensive back because they're not set.
Right.
The receivers.
Yeah, I could see some of that. I mean, if it's not a lot of glory out there, and not a lot of attention unless something goes wrong for a DB, So I think most kids in Texas start playing 7-on-7, you'd rather have the ball in your hand, and there may be some truth to that.
But there are several plays the other night where cornerbacks on both teams had really tight coverage and the passes.
Right. Yeah, I felt like, Jalen Lane, Octavius had some great coverage, and we got beat with a back shoulder throw 4 or 5 times where it was just a perfect throw by the quarterback, great play by the receiver. And, they understand as a DB, you got to have a short-term memory. You got to understand, hey, I did my job. You can't control everything. Control what you can control and play the next snap. But there was some highly executed throws and catches out there.
The defense has shown some improvement, but where do you feel like it still needs to come on, still needs to improve?
Yeah, I think we just got to do a better job of getting off the field in those third down situations. Once again, they made 3 or 4 tremendous throws that were well covered, but we get a chance to get the ball back and stop drives. We got to find a way to do that.
You have about 20 guys on your team from Houston. You're expecting performance from kids playing in front of family or friends?
I'm sure they'll be excited. Those kids from Houston always take a lot of pride in being from that area, and they'll have family there, and it'll be a rocking atmosphere. I'm sure there'll be a bunch of Tech fans as well. And so I don't know if they'll be a performance bump, but I know they'll be highly motivated. We're just working through the rotation. It's kind of one of those numbers deals that as the game went, the type of game it was, we felt like we just needed to keep Dakota and Jordan rolling in it. But he'll have a good role moving forward, and he's come a long way from last year.
You guys have used both Colin and Christian as kind of that third linebacker whenever other teams go into heavier sets. Just kind of what went into those two guys and making that third linebacker? Yeah,
really with Colin, just trying to find more snaps from on the field, and CT's come a long way. Came here as a safety, has worked at linebacker about a year and a half now, and making big strides. Still a young player, so it's a good mix for certain schemes Coach Gibbs wants to do. But Colin is a guy, with Eli and Zach Barnes, that Lonzel and Tony, that we're trying to find enough snaps because he's a very talented player as well.
Talk a little bit about Willie Sykes also. Seemed like, of course, in the spring, you're obviously everything focused on the classroom and everything, and he's made visible plays, it seems like.
He has. I mean, talent has never been an issue. It was just making sure we're getting everything else right, and he did a nice job of that over the summer. Has worked hard, brings a lot of energy, a lot of juice, and if you've ever talked to the guy, I mean, he's nonstop talking and smiling and into it, and it's been good for our defense. And not afraid to stick his nose in there and make plays, and just kind of has a savvy out there that is good at that nickel position.
Did you recruit him at all in high school?
Not really. Yeah, I'm not really sure how it all went. I think Coach Spav and Coach Gibbs may have had a previous relationship from when they were at Houston. And then Coach Gibbs knows some people in Arkansas, and it kind of went from there.
There was a lot of emphasis in the offseason on running the ball more and just kind of changing some of the scheme. So far, how do you feel like the team's doing through two games?
Yeah, I felt like last week wasn't bad. I think if you take out the sacks, we had close to 150 yards rushing. So we'd like to be more around 200, but the game also kind of dictated us to throw it a little bit more there at the end. So we're not where we want to be, but it's much improved from last year where we couldn't run it at all. We just got to keep working, keep getting Nisby comfortable, keep getting Trey comfortable, and with Justin, and you got a really good rotation going there.
The offensive line specifically, though, how do you feel like they've done as far as creating lanes?
Yeah, I'm better than last year. I think having guys that played back Steele, Paul and Madison, they've come a long way. And Jack, true freshman, has some punch in there, and then Jacob Hines is another heavy-handed guy, which we're getting more movement than we did last year, and still have a long ways to go, but it's improved.